If your AI receptionist is not connected to a real calendar, then it is not a real AI receptionist. It's just talking, and that's the easiest way to lose trust with a business. And that's because without this setup, you get double bookings, missed appointments, angry customers, and business owners who stop taking your AI seriously. In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect multiple calendars and common CRMs into Retell AI using Call.com. So your AI can book appointments in real time without human involvement. I'm also going to break down what Call.com actually is, what API keys are in simple English, and how this setup allows you to connect multiple calendar systems the correct way. This is the difference between a cool AI demonstration and a system that businesses actually pay money for. And the reason this matters is because most people building AI receptionists focus on the prompts, the voice, and the demonstration, but they completely forget about the one thing that actually makes businesses trust the system, and that is scheduling. Because from a business owner's perspective, if your AI books the wrong time, double books clients, or can't actually create real appointments, then it really just creates more problems than it actually solves. And once trust is gone, the deal is dead. That is why this calendar integration is not optional. It is mandatory if you want your AI to be taken seriously. Now, let's talk about what Call.com actually is, because this is the foundation of the entire system. Call.com is a scheduling platform that manages availability, bookings, and calendar logic. It connects to real calendars like Google Calendar and Outlook, and it makes sure that when someone books a time, that time is actually available. Instead of going back and forth with customers asking what day and time works, Call.com simply shows them open slots and handles everything automatically. When someone books a time, it saves the appointment, blocks the calendar, and sends confirmations. So Call.com is really not just a calendar, but it is a source of truth for availability. But why does Retell AI actually need Call.com? Retell AI is responsible for the conversation. It answers the phone, understands the caller, and guides them through booking an appointment. But Retell AI itself does not decide availability. It needs a scheduling system to talk to, and that is where Call.com comes in. When you connect Call.com to Retell AI, the AI can ask Call.com what times are available, confirm a booking, and create a real-time appointment on the calendar. This is what allows the AI to book in real time instead of just guessing. But before I get into everything, I need to talk to you about APIs, because this is where most people get confused. API stands for Application Programming Interface. I know that sounds really technical. Fuck, I even sound like a nerd. But the simple explanation is that an API is a way for two platforms to communicate with each other. So in this case, Retell AI and Call.com are two different platforms. The API is a bridge that allows Retell AI to send messages to Call.com and receive information back. An API key is what gives permission for that to happen. The real definition is that an API key is a unique identifier used to authenticate and authorize requests between applications. My explanation is that an API key is like a password that allows Retell AI to access your Call.com account. When you paste your API key into Retell AI, you are telling Call.com that Retell AI is authorized to check availability and create bookings on your behalf. This is why API keys should never be shared publicly, because anyone with that key can access your system. Once Call.com is connected to Retell AI, the entire experience changes. When someone calls, the AI can ask the caller what day and time they want, check real availability through Call.com, and book the appointment instantly. There is no double booking, no guessing, and there is no human involved. The AI pretty much becomes a real receptionist that can handle calls 24/7 and handle scheduling without mistakes. So now that you understand why this matters, I'm gonna walk you step by step on how to connect Retell AI to your Call.com account and integrating your calendar the right way so your AI can start booking appointments automatically. And you already know, all I ask for in return is that you like this video and subscribe. Deal? Okay, fair enough. Alright, so the good thing is that Retell AI actually has a native integration with Call.com. So if we were to click functions and click add, we would see here that Call.com is already showing, right? So that means we're not going to build anything custom or complicated. We just need to connect the two platforms together and configure a few key settings. So first, we're going to start in Call.com. So if you don't have an account, you're going to want to create one here. So once you log in, you should be in the screen right here. Here, you're going to have all the different event types. I'm just going to put haircut appointment, and I'm going to say it's going to last 30 minutes. So you're going to click continue. So now you've created your first event. Once you're in the screen, you just want to change a couple of settings. The first setting we're going to change is going to be availability. If your account is brand new, like the one I'm using right now, there most likely isn't going to be any availability. So in order to change that, you're going to click availability in the left sidebar. And after that, you're just going to create an availability schedule. You're going to add a name, and here you should have a schedule. Now, it is very important that you set the time zone whenever your customer is located. Right now, I'm just going to keep it as New York because where I'm located, we use Eastern time. But if your client was somewhere else, you would just change it right here. It is also very important that this time zone matches the one in Retell AI, because if not, it's just going to create a lot of confusions. So we're going to go ahead and click save, and then we're just going to go back to event types. I'm going to click the appointment, and if we check availability, we should see our normal working schedule right here, the one we said before. You can also add different schedules depending on the event type, but right now I'm on a fresh account, so I'll just have one. Then we're gonna click limits on the left side, and we should have two options that are buffer time before and after the event. Meaning that if somebody books the appointment and you have 15 minutes of after event buffer type, nobody is gonna be able to book another appointment for the next 15. So for example, let's say somebody booked an appointment and it ended at 1:45. If we have 15 minutes after event buffer time, and let's say somebody booked an appointment at 2, the next caller is not gonna be able to book an appointment until 2:45. Choose a minimum notice on how far in advance people can book. I would keep it at least 8 hours before, but you can change it however you want. So let's click save. We can move on. So let's say somebody books an appointment. In this page, you can change how the event shows up in the business calendar. So I'm just gonna say haircut appointment and click create. If you scroll down, you're gonna have a couple of booking questions. For confirmation, I would recommend you to add it to phone. Before, it was required that you had to ask for the user's email address, which to be fair, the AI receptionist is not that great at, so it was really annoying. But at least they changed it now. Oh fuck, I got a cramp. You also wanna make sure you turn these off so your AI agent doesn't get confused. And if you keep scrolling down, you're gonna have a couple of different options. As you see, we have requires confirmation, disable canceling, disable rescheduling. I'm not gonna touch this, but you can just customize it however you want. Click save. So we're gonna head over to Retell AI, and we're gonna click add a function, and we're gonna select check calendar availability, Kyle.com. So there's two things we're gonna need from Kyle.com, which are gonna be the API key and the event type. And like I said before, it is super important that you match the time zone to the one in Kyle.com. So if you're on Eastern time, you're gonna put New York. So let's start with the API key. You're gonna head over to Kyle.com, you're gonna click settings and then API keys. And here you should see the option to create your first API key. So we're just gonna hit add. I'm just gonna name this appointment and click never expires. Hit save. This is not important to me because this is not my main account, but like I mentioned in the start of the video, it is super important that you don't share this API key with anyone. So let's go ahead and click copy. You're gonna head over to Retell AI, and you're just gonna paste your API key. Then we're gonna get the event type ID from Kyle.com. This one confuses a lot of people, and it definitely confused me when I was first starting out. So you're gonna head over to Kyle.com, and this you see right here, it's not your event type ID. What you wanna do is you want to click it, and this number right here you see in the search bar is your event type ID. You're gonna go ahead and copy it and paste it. Hit update. So now we have our check availability function, which means that Kyle.com is gonna check if there's any available slots before actually booking the appointment. This is super important because there are times that the AI just books the appointment, but it does not check availability, so it causes double bookings and all of these things. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add the function of booking on the calendar. It's gonna require the same things. I'm gonna change the time zone to New York. There we go. I click save. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add another function, which is gonna be book on the calendar, but you don't need to do the same process all over again. All you have to do is click this, and you can just copy your API key, add book on the calendar. And as you see here, it's gonna ask us for the same three things. I'm gonna paste my API key here. So like I said before, make sure your time zone matches the one that is in Kyle.com. We're gonna go back to Kyle, the URL. We're gonna copy it. We're gonna paste the event ID, click save. We have our prompt here, right? And if you don't have a prompt, I explained how to properly make one in my last video, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. But basically what you want to do is you want to add a couple of non-negotiables. So pretty much you want to add this onto your prompt. So the first one is going to be always ask the user to spell out the caller's email address whenever asking for it. Now this was if you were required to collect the email address. If you're just going to be collecting the phone number, you don't really need it. So I'm going to take it off because like I said, AI receptionists are really not that good at getting the email address. However, that is the most accurate way to collect your email address. Next option is going to be always append a +1 or whatever you're located. In this case, we're in the United States, so we're going to be using +1 to the beginning of the phone number if the caller gives you it over the phone. So for example, whenever the AI receptionist is asking for the phone number, if the caller says 934-076, the AI receptionist is manually going to send a +1. And this is not relevant for now, but it is going to be really useful if you decide to add a canceling or a rescheduling option. Now, these four are really important. You want to use the same exact dynamic variables that I have written here, which are always use, and the dynamic variable is going to be user number. To book the appointment, we're using a phone number the caller is calling from. The next non-negotiable you want to have is always check the current time here before booking an appointment or anything. Copy the same dynamic variable. Current time, America, New York, since I'm on Eastern time. You also want to make sure this is matching your check availability, book appointment, and your event type in Kyle.com. Then we're going to have use, dynamic variable, check availability Kyle, to check availability before booking an appointment. Then we're gonna have use a book appointment call if there is a slot available to book an appointment. So we're just gonna click save. So now to connect your Kyle.com to different calendars and common CRMs, you wanna head over to Kyle.com, and then when you see apps, you're gonna click the app store. Here you have a list of all the different apps you can integrate with Kyle.com. So for example, let's say I wanna connect Apple Calendar. All I would have to do is click here and install app. As you see, I already connected my Google Calendar. So now let's go ahead and test the agent out.
Hello, this is Shara from Matthew's Barbershop. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I would like to schedule an appointment.
Of course, I can help you with that. What service would you like to book today?
A haircut.
Great, a haircut. What day and time would you like to come in for your appointment?
Can I go today at 8 p.m.?
Let me check if we have an opening for a haircut today at 8 p.m. Unfortunately, we don't have an opening at 8 p.m. today. However, we do have availability tomorrow, Friday, December 26th, from 9 to 9:30 in the morning, and from 11 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Would any of those times work for you?
Yeah, can you schedule an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m.?
Absolutely. I can book you for a haircut tomorrow at 2 p.m. May I have your first name and a good contact phone number to complete the booking?
Pedro and 954-347-0590.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Pedro. I'm booking your haircut for tomorrow at 2 p.m. now. Pedro, you are all set for a haircut tomorrow at 2 p.m. We look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.
Thank you. Susie, here we have an appointment for tomorrow. So yeah, that's it guys. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like this video.